Thank you so much for attending my presentation about Pokemon's worst Ultra Beast. A while ago, I made a video talking about the Ultra Beasts, and as some of you might remember, I literally forgot to talk about Guzzlord. Today's video will remedy this. Also, before I get like a billion comments about it, I'm not counting Poipole, which is worse, but is also a pre-evolution. Anyways, let's quickly talk about stats. Like OUBs, its numbers are very skewed. Its attacking, defensive, and speed stats all range from mediocre to awful. However, Guzzlord has a monster HP stat of 223 to make up for it. This makes it pretty easy to glean what role Pokemon wanted it to fill, a slower, bulky attacker that can reasonably eat hits on both the physical and special side. Then, with the move pool loaded with coverage, it can threaten a lot of common stuff. Unfortunately though, this didn't work quite as well as Game Freak intended. There's a few major problems with Guzzlord that really hurts viability. First, the most obvious, its good bulk is hampered by its horrible defensive stats. 53s in both is detrimental to its survivability and makes it way less resilient than you might expect. It's not frail per se, but isn't exactly a defensive monster. Its speed is also terrible, basically ensuring it'll be taking a ton of strong attacks. The typing, while not bad, isn't exactly great either. Dragon Dark has 5 pretty common weaknesses ranging from ice to fighting, but what really sucks is that it takes 2 times damage from U-turn, an extremely common pivot option that Guzzlord just has to deal with. You do own Psychic and eat knockoffs, but it's a mixed bag for sure. Finally, the Glutton's move pool isn't anything crazy. The good comes in its attacking options where it is basically everything it could ever want. Draco Meteor, Knockoff, Fire Blast, Heavy Slam, Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Hammer Arm, and more. But outside of that, Guzzlord doesn't have too much, as weird as that sounds. It almost completely misses out on both recovery and setup, a major problem. This combined with its serviceable at best attacking stats makes it tough to consistently provide value throughout games. While it had some promise, Guzzlord is badly hurt by almost every one of its traits. Guzzlord's strongest sets are bulky attackers, aiming to take advantage of its wide damaging move pool and ability to consistently stick around for a few turns. However, since you aren't really able to stay healthy with 4 attacks and you're slow, maximizing immediate reward is important. This makes choice items or alternatively a Z Crystal very appealing. Combined with these high base power moves, this lets it deal a pretty significant amount of damage to a large chunk of meta Pokemon. Alternatively, it can try a tank set with Dragon Tail and Rest Talk. This is nice on hazard stack teams as Guzzlord can face Pokemon around even when it's asleep and healing to rack up damage. Rest also helps against annoying status conditions like Burn and Toxic, letting it stay alive for longer. While still very vulnerable, it can be a powerful win condition on the right teams. Even though Guzzlord is the worst, Ultra Beast, it's not horrible. Those good traits help it provide value consistently in mid-tiers. In both Gen 7 and 8, it was banned from PU, and while it wouldn't rise to the tier above proper, Guzzlord would find places in formats like NU and RU. Not amazing, but still a real threat to watch out for. What I find interesting about Guzzlord is that there's another Pokemon that's very similar but works better overall, Regidrago. It is an HP stat of 200, middling defenses, and attacking numbers around 100. It just looks like Guzzlord again, right? Well, it's actually better. Regidrago fixes a large chunk of the Ultra Beast's problems. First, most notably, it has a damn speed stat. 80 isn't amazing, but it can outspeed stuff with investment or viably throw on a Choice Scarf. This immediately gives it more value both on offense and defense. It's not only throwing out attacks faster, but it can avoid opposing damage too. Where Guzzlord would have to take an Ice Beam before firing off a Draco Meteor, Regidrago might not have to. In addition, its move pool gives it more options. Dragon Dance is especially nice, letting it be a legitimately strong win condition after just a single turn. It is beaten out in terms of coverage, but it still has enough options. While no, it doesn't get recovery, this still gives it a strong way to take advantage of that monster HP stat, a way to set up consistently. But the nail in the coffin is a very strong ability. I didn't talk about Guzzlord's ability Beast Boost, and that's for a very good reason. It's not super impactful. Sure, getting a special attack boost when you kill something is nice, but taking multiple knockouts in a row with it is tough. Guzzlord is more focused around creating positive traits throughout games, but Regidrago's Dragon Maw gives it a static 1.5 times boost to dragon moves. This is a huge deal and makes it even more offensively potent. Even in doubles, where Guzzlord is pretty bad, the Golem can be very deadly with spread dragon energies. Despite many similar traits between the two, Regidrago leans into a more powerful role and is thus better in nearly every format. In conclusion, Guzzlord is weird. It's not bad, but lacks the extreme highs that its Ultra Beast cousins all possess. And in Gen 8, it was almost totally usurped by Regidrago, which is a bit unfortunate. Thank you so much for watching.